You're right, YouTube. Speak Mike without further ado, retro. I thought it's been a while, so we better do another pickups video. Cheers. Right, let's get on to the pickups. Okay, the first thing I think I'll show you about a few things is pickups last like 2 or 3 weeks, I suppose. So the first thing I'd like to show you, which is really cool, really excited about this product, which is it's from My Game Vault, and they're actually doing Spectrum, Spectrum, Commodore, Amstrad, you know, the sort of small sort of boxes. So if I just show you these and what they, you know, obviously it's got the film on. I just sort of just put one together just to show you, and then I'll show you it fitted to a game as well. So easy enough, just like that, you know, it's all together. So you've got the product, and I think this is a fantastic product. So it's as quick as that, just to knock one up. Obviously that's got the film on it, a protective film, so I'll take that off when I put a game in there. So yeah, that's and this is what it looks like with the game inside. So obviously it's not 100%, I don't know if you can see, 100% tight, but you know, there's a couple of mil play on the side, don't know how well you can see, and on the bottom. But I think that's ideal, really. So when you want to sort of take the games out, they're easy enough to take in and out of the box because it has a little bit of play, but it's not enough. So when it's in the actual box, nice thick 5mm as well. When it's in the actual box, it doesn't really. That's the tape you can hear rattling around in there. Doesn't really rattle around. So absolutely fantastic product. I've been banging on about these for quite a few years, saying, will someone blooming make them? No one's made them. My Game Vault have made them. Absolutely brilliant. My Game Vault on eBay really finishes off the game, gives it a nice level of protection with the 5mm as well. I bought 10 of these because I'm not as well off as I'd like to be at the moment. So I bought 10, which I believe was $13.99 or $14.99 for 10, which may seem a bit steep for 10. But as it's a new product, it's a new line, I think that's pretty cool. But if you buy more, I think if you buy like 50, it's like 53 or 54 pounds, and if you buy 100, it's like 100 or maybe just less than £100. So £1 a piece, to protect your whole protection, your whole protection, to protect your whole collection. £1 a piece, you can't go wrong. I'm really pleased with these products, and I will be putting all of my Spectrum collection in these boxes. So I'll be trying to save some bunts and get a 100 at once. Save some bunts and get 100 at once. It's a catchphrase, isn't it? So that's that. I don't know how well you can see that. I'm trying to you know, film it on the new camera with the camera angle. I can't really sort of check. It's all sort of a bit crushed in here. So that's that one. So that's absolutely brilliant. My Game Vault, fantastic, brilliant. Protection for the old Spectrum games and Amstrad and CPC, Amstrad CPC 464 and Commodore C64 and 128, I suppose. Okay, yeah, so basically it is booting season again, and trying to drag me myself out and do a bit more sort of exercise and getting out and about a bit more. You know, I do suffer sort of with back problems, but the more I do, the more I'll be able to do, the more I'll be able to get about, hopefully. You know, hopefully shift some of this. And so I've been, me and me mate Marcus have been back at the booters. Actually, this first pickup I picked up with my cousin. My cousin just phoned me one day, said, what are you up to on a Sunday? Oh, about 10 o'clock. I said, not a lot, you know. He said, you fancy going up the road, going to a booter? I said, yeah, all right, not a problem. But, you know, it's a bit late in the day for that. But we went to a booter, and I found some games. Got a little bit excited. I'm sort of learning by this. I'm out of practice with what I'm doing. So, you know, so this is the first lot of pickups I got. So, the girl had, here we go. The girl had £2 or £3 each on these. You know, I know that you know, I do know that the sort of the market has fallen out a little bit out of the PS3 and the Xbox 360. I think Xbox 360 still commands more money, especially the kids games. The tip is with that is the kids games like Lego and Minecraft and that Terra, whatever it's been called. You know, one where you rotate the image, you know, rotate the landscape. Basically, kids games, they're on original CDs. So on the Xbox 360, they scratch. So the parents generally, rather than getting resurfaced, I mean, the kids don't really look after their stuff nowadays, do they? They have to buy the games again. So whereas on PS3, they're on the Blu-rays, which are a lot more resilient to scratching. So nevertheless, I paid £13 for this bundle. The girl had it there, the games. I said, "Oh, how much on your games, my love?" She said, "Oh, £2 or £3 each." I can't remember. I think she had £2 each. I said, "Well, how about if I buy the lot? You know, will you do a deal? Or will you do them for £1 each?" She said, "Yeah, not a problem." I said to her, "Obviously, I don't want the FIFAs. Like, they weren't any sort of new FIFAs like FIFA 12, FIFA 14. You know, there's not really any money on those unless the 14's on the PS2." So I paid £1 each for these. On hindsight, looking back at it, I've probably about broken even. But I have a PS3 to get rid of, or to sell. So you can always bundle a few games with a PS3 to make it more attractive to buyers. So there's some pretty good games, some good gameplay, especially if you were intending to play these games yourself. But you know, also good games to bundle. So let's have a look what we got. So we got Black Ops 2. You know, it's all there. It's manual, it's a bit curved, and the disc. It's Black Ops 2. Pretty cool game. I'm pretty sure I've got all the Black Ops on PS3, or all of the Call of Duty, on PS3. But it might be an upgrade for mine. So if it's an upgrade, then I will be obviously keeping the best one and selling the worst one. So Call of Duty Black Ops 2, gone Black Ops 2, Black Ops 3. You can tell there's no, I haven't got this in any order, so they're all in the wrong order. So Black Ops, the original. I actually played this one through back in the day, when I was living in a sort of bit lesser situations, and I had my old PS3 and a TV, but I had no TV aerial, so I actually played this one all the way through. And I believe that this one's the first one where you get the zombies, isn't it? If I'm not mistaken. I remember you used to have like JFK and that. Used to play, and you used to have to try and keep the zombies off. And I thought I was pretty good at it. I think I've played for like 10 minutes or something, and then my mate's like, no, I can keep it going for like an hour or something. I was like, you know, you realise you're getting older and you're not that good then, don't you? Right, Need for Speed Hot Pursuit, which is a pretty cool game actually. It's getting on a bit now. But sometimes you find that these hold their prices a little bit. But, you know, I haven't been up on my CEX, and obviously they've adjusted all the prices. So, yeah, it's a little bit, like I said, I probably broke even with these. I haven't lost any money, but I haven't made any money. But if there's games that I didn't have, then, you know, I can add them to my collection as well. So, you all know this one's not really worth anything. Ghost Recon, Future Soldier. It's in there. There's a little sign she had on. I'll put that inside. Stop me kicking it about me flat. So that's Future Soldier. I think this is worth less than £1. It's probably worth 10 pence or something. But, you know, I don't think I have it in my collection, so I'll probably add it to mine. This game here is a fantastic game. If you don't have this on the PS3 or Xbox 360, I highly recommend you go out and buy this. This is fantastic. This really gives a 9.5 or a 9.8 out of 10 on the Big Mike's recommendation. So without further ado, we'll get on with it. Is Split Second. This is a flat out arcade action racer, and what great fun this is to play. Really cool. To pick this up for £1, I've got this already, don't get me wrong, it's in my collection already. Obviously I'll check the condition of mine, and then obviously I'll keep the best one. But, you know, if you're getting a PS3 with a bundle, this is a great game to have in there. Or even if you've got a PS3 and you don't have this game, I recommend you go out and buy this game, especially if you can pick it up for £1 or a couple of quid. Fantastic. Really highly recommend this game. So, can't stress that enough. It's a really good game. That's a really good game. This game chases, isn't it? Right, next up, is Call of Duty World at War. Not sure what it is. I think this may be going sort of back to sort of World War Two or sort of times, you know, when Call of Duty was good, or even like the Medal of Honor, you know, World War Two, World War One, World War Two, actual history, and even they can't even get that right, can they? They generally get the guns for the times wrong. You know, if you know your history a little bit, don't get me wrong, I do not know my history. The games would fool me, but my friends who are more in touch with our history than what I am always say, "Oh, well, that gun wasn't out at this point." And yeah, who cares really? Just, you know, as long as you shoot some people, some bad guys, then you know, I'm all for it. So it's Call of Duty World at War. And with these, I don't ever play these online or anything. I'm naff online. You get up against some 12-year-old kid or something and they'll kill you. So I always just play the campaigns, which are fantastic. I think they should keep campaigns nowadays. You know, they're trying to get rid of them. Campaigns are what it's all about. Campaigns are fantastic. Sorry, excuse me. Right, next one. Another great game. Doesn't really fetch anything. But it's a cool game, and this is in fairly good condition. So get the stickers off the blooming manuals, which is Killzone 3. Really cool game, the Killzones. Very tough, actually. They're sort of like on rails, because it's really hard, but it's got a particular way that it wants you to play through. If you play it its way, you can get through, but if you don't, it sort of kills you. So, you know, it's gives the illusion of being sort of a bit open, but it's not really. You have to play it the way it wants you to play it. So it's all complete there. So in fairly nice condition. Like I say, all these for £1 each. If you're playing them for £1 each, fantastic. You've got some. There's a good way I look at sort of entertainment. It's dearer than this nowadays, isn't it? If you're paying £5 an hour for entertainment, you're about right, aren't you? So all of these games have several hours, probably like 6 or 7 hours entertainment in each of them. So you're winning, aren't you, if you're going to play them? This game is a great game. I've completed this. I was also in a situation where I was in that same time, I was a bit on darker times and not in the best of places where I was living. And like I said, I didn't have no TV area. All I had was my PlayStation, a TV, and some games. So I used to, many evenings, I spent many hours playing this game, which is Gran Turismo 5. And I fully completed this. I've done every single thing you could do on it, pretty much. And that's a lot of hours. That is a lot of hours. It says race over 1,000 cars, over 20 locations, vehicle damage, advanced effects, car smoke and spark, enhanced stereoscopic 3D visuals. Yeah, this is actually, don't know if you know about this, like many PS3 games, a lot of people don't know this, that a lot of the games are 3D compatible, which is quite mad. I remember the first time I think I had Uncharted 3 on a 3D TV, and you switch it to 3D and put your glass on, you can peek round boxes a little bit and everything. It was just mind blowing back then. Everyone's a bit more used to 3D now, aren't they? But you know, looking back when this was, when was this? 1997 to 2010. So 2010, so 8 years old, and they were doing 3D. Back then, this was it was very. No one else was really doing 3D. What I remember, you know, back then I didn't have a 3D TV. I had a really rubbish TV, but we've upgraded since then, eh? And we'll be upgrading again soon, hopefully. Right, we had the sequels to this earlier. This I'm pretty sure this is going to be an upgrade because I don't think mine's in very good condition, which is the original MotorStorm. All of these games are fantastic, flat out arcade action. Like I say, that the third one that I showed you is probably the best, in my opinion. Obviously, they've got better as they've gone through, but yeah, still highly recommended. MotorStorm, like I say, for £1. I've got a feeling my other one's a bit beat up with this, so I will be basically upgrading and getting rid of the beat up ones. So MotorStorm, the whole series is fantastic. I've not played the one on PS2, but you know, the ones I have played on PS3, every single one has been on the mark. So a bit of a theme here, isn't there, really? Racers. So Midnight Club Los Angeles, also supposed to be a really good game. So yeah, this one needs a bit of a clean up. The manual's a little bit curled and that there, but these games are supposed to be really good as well. Really sort of chuffed with this. So yeah, I think I've got this, but this will be an upgrade if I clean the box or exchange the box. box, and yeah, we'll keep that. Save that for £1 as well. I might give that a go as well at some point. Right, one I thought might be worth some money, but really isn't worth anything, is F1. F1 Champion Edition. Didn't realise how old this game is. This is 2007, so I'm not sure if this was... What year did the PS3 come out? Was it 2005? So this was only a couple of years into it. So they had a 10-year sort of lifespan, didn't it? So 2005, 2015, maybe 2016 actually. So this F1 Championship. The reason I thought this might be worth a bit of money, if you look at any sort of Formula 1 game, even if it's not current, you know, F1, you know, to even, I think, like 2015, 2016, they all sort of command a bit of money. Unfortunately, this one doesn't. But you are talking, this is 11 years old now, so, you know, yeah, 11 years old, isn't it, 2018. So, but nonetheless, it probably still will be a pretty damn good game. So, for £1, alright, I probably didn't do too well on that one, so, but I'll probably give it a go. I don't think I'll be very good at it, to be honest. I'll need to brake assists and all that on. So, but it's worth a look, you know, and I'll probably bundle it in. I'll give it a go. If it's not very good, I'll bundle it in with that PlayStation. And we'll get our money back, hopefully, that way. So, now this game here, I actually played the game before this one and really loved it. And I got this one, and I got this on the PC. And started off, and it was sort of mad. Well, you know these games are crazy anyway. It's Saints Row 4. Saints Row 3 was so... I mean, I've never really been much into GTA, to be honest, Grand Theft Auto. In my opinion, they it's going to be a bit of controversial here. If you ever play a game called Hunter on the Amiga, which in my opinion was early Grand Theft Auto, you know, 3D, you could nick cars. You had a Land Rover, you could nick a windsurf, a speedboat, and you can go around this 3D world. That was Grand Theft Auto, but back in the 90s. And then obviously you had Driver on the PlayStation 3. Okay, it wasn't open world fully, but it was where it sort of started out. And then you had Grand Theft Auto. So for me, Grand Theft Auto, a lot of people love them. Number 5's really cool, and I haven't put as much time into it as what I should have done. But you know, I'm very much a story basing. So I got into Saints Row 3, and Saints Row 3 is so funny and so fantastic. It's like, I think it's like Gran Turismo put on steroids, and the comedy level is very, very funny. You know, so, but this is, they've amped it up even more on number 4. I haven't really got into this one too much, but I actually completed number 3. So, that was really, really good. So, I'll turn that around, because it's got online passcode, which no doubt has been used anyway. But, you know, just in case it hasn't, I've turned it around. It's all complete in there. So, that is Saints Row. And the one that I really sort of wanted for my collection, because I don't have it, I got a feeling I got it disc only, or I might have the one before disc only. So, and you all know I'm into me boxing. And to be honest, there's not really that many good boxing games about, to be honest, in my opinion. I did see the evolution of Rocky games the other day, which looked pretty cool. So I might have to dig some of those out and go through the Rocky games and do a few funny things. And some of the cutscenes on those Rocky films was terrible. It was like Rocky played out with the life drained out of it, like, you know, like real bad acting. I could have done better acting. And I was thinking, you've paid for the Rocky license. Why don't you just use the sound from the film? Just play Sylvester Stallone's voice. Play the other character's voice. Mickey's voice. Mr. T's voice. Why get these half-ass actors in to do a half-ass job? So, you know, you've paid for a license. Surely, therefore, you have the right to use anything you want from that license. Surely. But anyway, it's not Rocky. It is Fight Night Champion, which has got our old mate David Hay, who my mate Tony Bellew finished his career for him, which was well done, Tone, which I went to watch live. I don't really like David Hay. I used to support him back in the day, and then he fought Klitschko with a bad foot, and I actually bet on him, and I wouldn't have betted on him if I knew he had a broken toe. So, you know, I don't think if you're not in 100% peak condition, you shouldn't go for a world title fight. You know, and it's not fair on the fans who are betting on you that you're not given a full. You know, you wouldn't bet on a three-legged horse, would you? So, you know, only saying. You know, so thankfully David is now on Sky commentary, but you know Tony's chasing on the heels with that one as well. So, you know, but hopefully now you know, he's okay. But hopefully now he'll stick to it instead of bigging up himself all the time. Oh yeah, they're pretty good, but if they fought me, well, no, David, not really. So, so you know, you got so he's now with Sky commentary, and he does know boxing. He's done he's you know, since being a kid he's boxed, so he does know a bit of what he's going on about. But I think old Mr. Belly's even better on the old commentary as well, because his boxing knowledge is fantastic. A lot of people think he's a mouthy scouser, and they couldn't be further from the truth. That man knows boxing. The reason he beat David Haye is because he could see the injuries that were wrong with him, and he knew how to take away his tools. So you take away a man's tools, he can't do the job, can he? So anyway, that's enough about boxing. That's a whole new subject. So Fight Night champion with our mate David Haye on the front. Manny Pacquiao giving someone a bit of a battering on the back, and instruction, precautions leaflet and everything's in there. And actually, this is a pretty good boxing game. So this one, in my opinion, Fight Night champion and Fight Night round 4 are pretty good boxing games. Probably the best that we have out there, really. Apart from like stuff like Punch Out and Super Punch Out and things like that, which aren't really sort of serious games. But if you're looking for serious boxing games which are pretty cool, I don't think you can go wrong with a Fight Night. And hopefully we'll get another Fight Night video, a Fight Night game soon, because they haven't done one for a while, which is unusual. So hopefully you got something in the pipeline. So yeah. Right, so so this week we've been to the Booter as well. I'm supposed to get up about 7 o'clock in the morning, give Marcus a ring, we go to the Booters. That wasn't happening. I don't think I went to bed till about 4. So about 9:30, Marcus rang me. You know, I'm just getting up now. We go to the Booter, and I said, yeah, not a problem. So there's 3 Booters we generally go to. You know, there's one down a farm, which is pretty standard. There's one down a farm, there's one in a field local to me. Obviously the weather wasn't great today, so by the time he got here, I think it was about 11 o'clock. So the farm usually finishes about 2. It was 11 o'clock, so we drove over to the one there's one over by Bath. So and that starts at 1 o'clock. So we drove over there. We got sort of near there around 12. Obviously, we had an hour to burn, so we popped in I think it's a Toby Carvery. No, it wasn't. It was I don't know who it was. We went in there, so we had an all day breakfast, and it was awful, really really bad. I'm going to leave them a terrible review on Google. The sausages certainly had all of the life cooked out of them. Yeah, the bread, the toast looked lovely, but was very deceptive. And the breakfast just wasn't. It filled a gap, like, you know. It got us through for the Booter and that, but £8, £7.99, and I think it was left over from breakfast. So they said we've just missed the breakfast menu, and I think we had the leftovers from the breakfast. So. So £8. I said to Marcus, I said, I know one thing for sure. He said, what's that, mate? I said, we won't be coming here again for breakfast. And he laughed. And on the way out, he said, there's an old couple coming in. So I stood, you know, after you, let them through, to old people. And I always make way for the old people. Big up the old people. And, you know, let them through. And they were coming through. And I said, just a word of advice. Don't get the breakfast because it's horrible. And they laughed and we went on it, like, you know. So yeah, so then we burnt enough time. So it was about, you know, half 12, 22. So we drove to the Booter. In my opinion, it's perfect Booter weather because it's cloudy, cold, a little bit spitting, but not really bad. Not really, really bad, like, you know. So I'm thinking this is all right. This could work out because. the weather forecast is supposed to be really bad. Hopefully that'll put off the other buyers and they won't want to venture out into it. And we'll be there to jump on all the goods, So we got there as it was open, and there's one row at the car boot, like one up and down basically, and one table after that. I was pretty disappointed with it. There was an item that I saw on a guy's stall. I think he was a bit of a seller or a reseller. And it wasn't a general item that I would generally go for, but it's I know there's something that Old School's into. I won't tell you what it is because I know he don't like to give away his secrets, but I know he makes a fair bit of bunts on these items. So I tried phoning Old School to get some advice, and he wasn't answering, so I assumed he was booting up his end. Well, I knew he was booting because he'd done a live stream earlier, and he was off to another one when I spoke to him earlier on. So, so he's all with the live streams at the moment, which I think is fantastic, brilliant. So yeah, I found an item, and the guy was like, "Oh, it's £10," and Old School reckon they might go for about 40. But I thought, well, it's a big thing, and you got to post it and things. I don't know nothing about it. Old School can fix things and tinker about with things, Me, if I bought something that's broken, it's a wasted money, So I thought, well, it ain't really worth bothering with. So went up and down and did see this stall. And one stall had some PS2 games, a few items. An item that I actually got, I actually did spot, but I thought they looked like resellers as well. So I didn't even really ask. So and then Marcus come back and he'd actually bought it for me. So Marcus bought me for the price of £2, which is pretty cool, really. It's a Street Fighter 2 mug in the box. So it is in the box, brand new, £2. It's got all this sort of writing on and all that. And it is an actual official Capcom product, so which is pretty cool, really. So for £2, my mate Marcus picked that up for me, which is cool. And so £2, you can't really go wrong, really. It's official Capcom as well. So cool. And he said you can have that, and you can have a decent cup of tea in that then, look. So you'll have to come round and make it now, won't he? Only joking, Marcus. And right, so that was from the booter. So we looked around the booter, and literally we'd done the boot. We went and paid £1 to get it. Marcus was moaning about that. I paid the £1 as well, mate. But then again, he bought me a £2 cup, didn't he? So anyway, so we then sort of driving around trying to look for somewhere to go and that. So we drove to town then, sort of and ahhing, sort of looking a few places. So we went up the sort of higher end of town, really, sort of up almost like Park Street and things like that, sort of White Ladies Park Street. There's a few charity shops on there, but a lot of the charity shops aren't open on a Sunday. I think they're missing a trick there. So so we drove up Park Street, and we actually went into a charity shop. I'm not sure if it was. I got a feeling it was Mind. So we went into Mind charity shop, and they had some PS4 games actually, and I didn't think that there was any money in it, but I thought I'd buy this because I wasn't sure if I sold buy one. And what I actually bought was Little Big Planet 3. So Little Big Planet 3, it's there, got the receipt, and this actually cost me £3. So I was thinking, £3, there's not going to be any money in that. The older games go for not very strong money, don't they? And and I was like, £3. And there was actually some other games that I didn't pick up because they are older PS4 games. On hindsight, on coming back to the house and looking, PS4 older stuff is going up in price. This trades in for £10. So I paid £3 for this. It trades in for 10. So bonus. They had some more games there, which I didn't pick up. I might, if Marcus isn't up to anything tomorrow, I might see what he's doing. Might whip in and get the other ones. But There's some older titles. They want £3 each for them, but they generally go for £5 or £6 each. There's another one that might have even been a tenner there. So if he's not up to nothing tomorrow, I might say, if you're not up to nothing, we'll go out and get some dinner and all that, and have a mooch about, and see if I can pick up the rest of them, because you buy them for £3, so trade them in for a fiver, you've nearly doubled your money, haven't you? So there's 3 or 4 there. Whether they're there tomorrow or not, I don't know, but that's something nice that the old PS3 is on the turnaround. So I was really surprised Little Big Planet fetched £10 trade in, and they sell it for 15. So that's really cool. So I didn't think there was any money in older PS4 stuff, but it looks like it's turning around now. What it may be, to be honest, is the PS4, the original release now, it's been out quite a few years now. So whereas the Xbox 360 and the PS3 were mainstream consoles, now I think the PS4 is a mainstream affordable console. So a lot of people have them, and they may only be getting them now. And they haven't played these original games, thus bringing the price of the old games back up, which is good all round. So you might see it do well to brush up on your prices on PS4, as I found out myself today. And you see these games around the car, and you think, oh, it ain't worth picking up, ain't going to be worth nothing. They actually are starting to pick up, so definitely worth getting some games like that. So yeah, we had a look around. I've actually done some film pickups as well, but I'm going to do that in a separate video, because I know a lot of people watch my channel for retro stuff, and I thought I'd do one on my usual pickups with the retro stuff and modern stuff and the gaming stuff, and then I'm going to do another pickups video for the films and that. So I'll do that as well. So I've been picking up quite a few nice films actually recently, so that'll be in the next video. So I knew that there's CEX who is really iffy on parking in Bristol, but it's a Sunday, so there's a little spot I know that we can park. You're not really supposed to park there. I should get me blue badge really, because I'm entitled to one really. I've only got to chase it up and pay for it really, and I get a blue badge. You park anywhere then, but there's a little spot we can park at, but it's a little bit iffy. If the guy's being funny, he could give you a ticket, but it's a Sunday. So we went round there, and I knew that they were selling a particular game for £10, because I've been looking for it, and it's been, second hand, it's been flying around 15, and then I noticed that CX are doing it for 10. So I thought, if ever I go past one, I'll grab it. So, and the game was Call of Duty World War II. I've wanted this since release, but I've held out for it to come down to a price that's reasonable to pay for. £10 complete. It's all in there. It's complete. Of complete as a game gets nowadays. It's a couple of leaflets and a disc, isn't it? And probably most of the games on the internet with downloads. So £10 for Call of Duty World War II. Now I'll tell you what, which is a strange thing as well. I actually recently I've been buying the stronger games or the newer games on my Xbox, because the Xbox One X is more powerful. I'd like to update eventually to a 4K television. The Xbox One X plays 4K more powerful than what the PlayStation does, so you generally back the more powerful machine, don't you? So, but this was £10 on this, on a PS4, and on the Xbox One it was 15. So it used to be the other way around. The Xbox games were slightly cheaper, and the PlayStation games were more expensive, and now it's the other way around. Well, where this game's concerned, anyway, I don't know. I'm not really up on my CX at the moment, so, but that's the state with that game. £10 on PS4, 15 on Xbox, which is crazy. But obviously the Xbox now is the platform which is the strongest. So the tables have turned, even though I think Sony have definitely got it in the sales anyway. And they got that new PS4 coming out, the 500 million PlayStations sold, haven't they? It's out Tuesday. I've got a feeling Mr. Bads is going to pick that up. He said something's coming out Tuesday that he wants to pick up for his birthday. I think I've got him pegged on that. It's lovely. If I had the money, I would buy it in a heartbeat. It's a PlayStation 4 Pro with the 3 tiers, but the plastic is see-through, glossy blue plastic, which lights up and you can see all the insides. You know, it's you can see through it. It's all blue and like almost like a Bristol blue as well. You know, Bristol blue glass, that sort of colour. Really, really lovely. And they're limited to. There's only so many of them. I think 20,000, and each one has a little like brass plaque saying what number it is out of the 20,000. They are a true thing of beauty. If I had the money, I would buy one. I got a feeling it's pre-order only through Sony, and obviously you're going to need the full money up on that, aren't you? So, unfortunately, I won't have the money to buy one. Maybe get one down the track, but I got a feeling you're going to pay more for them down the track, and they're going to cost you more money. But it really is, truly is a thing of beauty, and where it's a limited edition, I got a feeling the prices with those are going to go up. So that might be a little tip. If you've got enough money, you've got like 400 or 500 quid in your bank, and you want an investment, you might do well to log on to Sony and try and pick that up whilst they're available. You know, I think it's 20,000 worldwide, which isn't that much in the world, is it really? So, you know, if you can get one of those, I'd say your investment is only going to go up, especially if you don't play it, which might sound crazy, but if you just keep it in the box brand new, you might even find you may double your money on it, like, you know, because some of these collectors, I'm a collector, I'm quite mad for it, like, you know, so, but, you know, some of these collectors are crazy and will pay anything to get whatever they want. I know they call it scalping or whatever, but, you know, I would love to own one of those, and if I could pick one up a couple of weeks later for an extra 100 quid, you know, I probably would. You know what I mean? So, and there's people that are crazier than I am, so so that's for that one. And the last sort of pickup, this is another game I've been after for a while. Funnily enough, it ties into the other games that I was highly recommending earlier. From the makers of Split Second, and MotorStorm, or like it's basically Split Second, MotorStorm, and Burnout all fused into one game. Real high-paced arcade racing action. I've wanted this game since release, and I've struggled really, really hard not to buy it. You know, and then I found it at a price that I wanted. And it retails, if you shop around, in the shop is 40-50 quid. You can find it for 28 online new. But I managed to find it for £16.57 or something like that from Music Magpie, which is on Rush on the Xbox One. Absolutely fantastic. Cannot believe I found this game for less than 20 quid. You know, it looks fantastic. I haven't played it yet. It's basically, like I say, it's like Split Second, MotorStorm, and Burnout all fused into one game. They made a new game engine for this game. It is so crazy. It looks absolutely brilliant. So, that's really, really cool on Rush. So I'm really looking forward to playing that. It's under £17 to pick up a new release title on the Xbox One. I think that's absolutely brilliant. Okay, YouTube. Oh no, no. Of one final thing actually, and the piece de resistance, the creme de la creme. Bear with me. Right. Another thing. First things first. Before we reveal the final reveal, the best pickup of the month actually. I've had a little bit of a deal going on with Sydney Steve. This deal has been in the making, due to my fault, probably best part of a year. I've agreed to sort of buy something off of Steve, but I haven't had the money. I've been buying other things, and you know, I've been meaning to put money back for that, and you know, but Steve's a good egg. He's good as gold. He's held it back for me. He's kept it. It's in nice condition and everything. Just need to raise the last bit of bunts for the extras and everything to get it all in one package. So me and Steve have arranged a deal, and he has basically said he'll swap a certain said item for IK Plus, and then the difference is obviously I have to pay them and delivery. You know, so I had IK Plus. I had a spare IK Plus on Amiga disc. Unfortunately, they're not compatible with my 1200, so I was unable to test them. So I put it in the post to Steve, and here's what happened.
Oh, that's a good start. I ain't seen that loading screen in years. I'm pretty sure the re-release don't do that. Whoa. Yeah, that didn't scare me. That looks good.
So yeah, so that's what happened with that one. So thanks ever much to Steve, and we have to thank Steve as well on this last one. Steve gave me a shout, gave me a heads up, said that there was a new data disc coming out this week or last week, and saying that was I going to get one, the limited edition. I'm not sure how it's pronounced. It's that the PS2 game with the wolf, which is very much like Zelda. Is it Ikira or something? It's supposed to be a fantastic game. I've never played it. Not really into Zeldas and things, but you know the game does have a bit of a cult following. It's a nice dual record gate sleeve fold out, but it was £65, and I don't really, you know, basically I would have been buying it to flip, sort of. You know, I said to Steve, I've got no real interest in that one. You know, I know Steve's going for the full set. He's buying everyone that's come out. So I said basically I'd only be buying it to flip. Like, you know, I said I've got to pay for me Super Hang-On somehow. You know, because on eBay they go for about £70 Super Hang-Ons, especially for the limited edition. And Steve went, hang on, actually, there's one on eBay now for £45, and he chucked me the link, and so like I say, this regularly goes for about £70 on eBay, but Steve gave us a heads up, and I picked up Super Hang-On by Data Discs, and it is the limited edition Splatter. I won't pull it out because I probably won't be able to put it back in without showing you. But I've been after this for ever since it came out, and I haven't been able to get it. And I thought I was going to have to pay £70 for it. And due to Cine Steve, thanks very much, mate, chucking us the link, I managed to get it for 45. So really, really pleased with that. It's absolutely brilliant, really good. And I'll be once I get the record deck that I got from Old School. He actually gifted me a record player as well. Old School. I didn't show that in the video. I'll probably do a bit of a video on that because I forgot to put that in the pickups that Old School gave me, but it's not set up. So I want to show it set up, and I'll probably show a few of the video game music records that I have. Yeah, so alright, YouTube, bit of a longer video. I hope you've sort of enjoyed watching what I've been doing last 3 or 4 weeks, like I say, the booters are on, so I'm going to be trying to get up out and about and do a bit more. I'm going to start it in the charity shops and that now. Just stop being so lazy with it and just getting everything off eBay and working a bit at it. And I used to enjoy doing it in the day, in the old Gumtree, and trade it and chasing the games down. I got a bit disheartened when CEX messed about with all their prices. You know, it got rid and GameStop price matching. You know, I used to do really well out of it. You know, probably about 300-400 quid a week on a good week. You know, with trade-ins and, you know, doubling your money, trebling your money. You know, almost like a weekly wage, like, you know. But then they sort of killed it by taking away all the offers and price matching and things, and I lost a lot of heart with it. But I think now it's good for me to get out and about, do a lot more. Get out and about around Bristol. Maybe do a few out and about vids. You can hear me sort of struggling along, trying to find a bargain. So, okay, YouTube, like, comment, share and subscribe, and we'll see you in the next one. Cheers.